And happy to welcome in our next guest. He's a regular, if you will, for us, Jeffery Lord. He is former advisor to Republican presidents, and he is just the guy to get to on this kind of day. Jeffery, welcome to the show.
Hello there, Bill, and what an interesting day it is, and I'm not even talking about John Gizzy's hat.
No, John Gizzy's hat is unparalleled. So we can't even go there. The government, just the short of it, really quickly. Did the Democrats, do you think, come to their senses? Did they realize that, honestly, siding with a group of people who are illegally in the country over people who are lawfully here and over people who are illegally here was a bad optic and kind of hard to overcome?
Yeah, very bad. I think, frankly, they were listening to too many people in their far left-wing base on this. And I had a friend who's very much experienced in polling, and he said to me, when you see these 70% margins for people who favor DACA, he says it's because it's a soft question that they're asking. You know, they came here against their will, or, you know, they were brought as kids, all this kind of thing. He says, when you get to harder questions about jobs and crime and that kind of thing, he says the percentage drops a lot. And I think, frankly, that too many people out there, I mean, I think this is one of the issues that elected President Trump, and too many people see these hard questions and see something like this, and they're not going for it.
Yeah, no. Not to mention numbers. I mean, we've been told the number is 800,000. But there have been reports that actually the bill that was brought to President Trump during the discussions that led to much angst, apparently the bill the Democrats brought in the Gang of Six was something north of 2 million people, as opposed to 800,000 people. There might be something a little disingenuous going on here, huh?
You know, and all the time we get these stories. I mean, there was one in the news just in the last few days about the guy who had killed a policeman, and an illegal immigrant who killed a policeman, and he's quoted as saying he only wished he'd taken more with him. What in the world these people are thinking, putting that on a par with, you know, stopping military pay and Social Security checks, is beyond me.
It is crazy.
Jeffrey, going back to the shutdown, I mean, I guess going in, Democrats thought they usually win this, but it's different this time for once. To how much do you attribute that to actually President Trump and his strong communication style and actually his effective use of Twitter, which is really like a headline?
Yeah. I mean, once again, he shows exactly why he's in the Oval Office in the first place. And he has this uncanny ability, which was obviously honed in his years in business and branding and that sort of thing. And immediately, once this began, we got into the Schumer shutdown, as it was called. He really knows how to do this, and this hit home with a lot of people. And alas for poor Chuck Schumer, I don't think he's the best spokesman for Democrats on something like this.
No kidding. Well, you know, speaking of branding, let's talk about the Comey FBI. Because the Comey FBI is making news again and again and again, and really not for the right reasons. Republican leaders in the House are considering launching an investigation, and for good reason. There have been months of texts that have been lost, and then there is a memo alleging that the FBI abused FISA. This memo, I'm really curious about, says that the FBI's use of the dirty dossier on President Trump and Russia by Christopher Steele, alleging that the FISA judge who signed off on the dossier was not given full information about it, including the Democratic sources paid for this. There is a big push, Jeffrey, for this memo to be released. We started talking about this on Friday. I think we should all talk about this until the memo is released, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. This feels bad. What say you, Jeffrey?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the very interesting thing, I just finished a column for the American Spectator tomorrow. I noticed in the Washington Post today that their media columnist, Eric Wemple, went after John Solomon from The Hill, one of the reporters who has spent months and months and months, along with Sarah Carter, investigating all of this. Now, let me just tell you, in the Washington way of the world, you wouldn't bother to attack a journalist for The Hill unless, of course, you were somewhat concerned that after all of this digging, this stuff is about to come out, and it's very, very damaging. This is the Washington way of dealing with things. And I think the push to get this out into the public is going to be a very big deal.